Hi there, and welcome to week 2. Today we're going to talk about how you can improve your speed control. And I'm going to cover 3 things today. One is a little bit about the lower body movement in the stroke. Secondly, I want to show you a little trick that you can work on to get the ball to roll a little bit more end over end. And all you're going to need for that is a golf ball and a Sharpie, any color. And thirdly, I want to touch on where to look when you're putting. So what options you have, and maybe that can actually really help make some really big strides in your contact and also in how that ball is rolling. So let's get to it. Lower body, right? We need to have that nice and stable so that you're going to hit that golf ball on the sweet spot, okay, right here in the middle of the putter. So if you're noticing that your lower body is moving a lot, what you can do is take 2 alignment sticks, okay? You can also take clubs, although that might be a little bit more inconvenient. So you want to put them in your armpits and you're going to cross them, and then when they're crossed, pretty much that's just kind of take a grip. It's not going to be exactly a good putting grip here perhaps, but you're going to have some help. So from here, you're going to be able to move just the upper body like this. Okay, and you can see how if I move my lower body, it's a very awkward kind of movement, right? So this kind of should help you kind of stabilize that upper body, and so that that lower body is really just stable for you, okay? So that's one thing that you can try for your lower body. All right, so another thing that you can work on at home is to get the ball to roll a little bit more, what's called end over end. And that's basically when the ball's rolling like this. So you can, let's say you can see the logo going around like this. So what you can do is you can take a Sharpie, and then you want to kind of draw. You can freewheel this. It doesn't have to be perfect, which is exactly what I did. So you can draw a line and then color half of the golf ball, okay? So half of the golf ball, you're gonna see if it's rolling like this or if it's kind of wobbling all over. Okay, so let's try it. All right, so you can kind of see how the ball rolled this way, and that's what you want to do when you are on the putting green. All right. Lastly, I had a question regarding where to look when you are putting. So what I see a lot is that new golfers have a tendency to look more at the golf ball than they look at the target. So I would suggest that when you're looking, you know, like you're setting up to the ball, look more at where you're going and really kind of focus in on the target. And then when you bring your focus back, you're gonna have a little bit of a softer gaze on it. So I think it's important to get really tuned in with the target. That's why I really like that drill where you're actually putting and you're looking at the target at the same time, just like, let's say, a basketball player would do, because that can really help you get a little bit more target oriented when you're putting versus getting really stuck on the golf ball. Now, I know last week we really worked hard on making good contact, right? And good contact is going to be really key, you know, to some great putting. Now, let's say that you're noticing that when you're looking up too early, okay, perhaps you're not hitting that sweet spot as much or as well, and that can definitely be the case. So one of the things that I would recommend is that you have the ball on the ground, and let's stand up here. So let's say I'm putting, right? And I see that there's like a little bit of glare on that golf ball, okay? So when I'm looking at that, actually I'll do it this way. I'm looking at the glare on my golf ball and I'm putting, and I'm gonna look at that glare and see like what's underneath that golf ball before I look up. And that can actually really help you, again, to stabilize that lower body so that you get better contact. So again, take what you need and work on the things that make sense to you at the moment. You might come back in this in a few weeks and then some other drills will be really interesting to you. But this is really great, especially on your shorter putts, to be much more still. So in the golf swing, right, if you know me well, I don't think that you should, one of the things that I think too many people focus on too much is to keep their head still. Okay, now in putting, that's a whole different thing. In putting, I think it's important to keep your center much more still, because if you are moving all over the place, you're gonna have a hard time getting consistent, right? So when you are keeping that head down, looking at that spot on the ground underneath the ball before you look up to the target, that's going to generally help you make better contact. So if that is what you notice, awesome. Keep doing that. I think that's great. It's a great drill to work on and keep coming back to. And I hope you are enjoying this week's class, and I will talk to you soon.